Yeah, the ping for the data points and everything were near the water. It's hard to tell an exact pinpoint or anything like that, but just as much on land as it was on water.
And I did a look of the reservoir as well. The lake level is pretty low, and I know they have boats out there, and they're using what's called MAD, magnetic anomaly detection, and they're also using sonar. So if that car was down there in that lake, they would see it.
So they got sonar and they got a metal detection. What is it called? The metal
Yeah,
detection?
it's called magnetic anomaly detection. Basically, magnetic anomaly detection looks for disturbances in the Earth's magnetic field, and a car would definitely create a disturbance.
Wow.
So we're looking for a silver vehicle. Her Honda CRV is silver in color. Helicopters have stated that they could see the bottom of this reservoir. We've had multiple different extreme levels of sonar utilized by different sonar teams in this reservoir. I'm confident in what they've done. However, and not to sound cocky, but if we haven't searched it, it hasn't been searched. Helicopters have stated that they could see the bottom of this reservoir. Helicopters have stated that they could see the bottom of this reservoir. That they could see the bottom of this reservoir. We've had multiple different extreme levels of sonar utilized by different sonar teams in this reservoir. Multiple different extreme levels of sonar. According to law enforcement, like I said, we are at her last known location. They said her cell phone stopped pinging right here at 12:33 a.m. on August 6th.
Her phone has actually been turned off shortly after 12:30 a.m. Saturday morning, and it has been off this whole time.
The area has been walked, driven, flown, grid searched. They're getting into tighter grid searching to, at this point we're looking for small and anything evidence-wise, as opposed to cars, people, things of that nature, even phones or data points could be lost. Yeah, today we have 226 searchers, pretty astronomical number. We had swimmers we announced the other day that actually did surface swimming, so we don't want to disturb the water even underneath because that can cause its own problems, and divers have been deployed at this point as well to assist in the search. And so this has grown into something that wasn't really anticipated in day 1 or 2. We do searches all the time. Nevada County probably goes over 40 searches every year. Not to this extent, and things that don't usually go this long because we're usually pretty successful. So swimmers on the surface allowed to use masks and see things without murking up the water, just to cover if there's something you could see, because once you touch the ground, you could potentially have all that earth come back up over any kind of evidentiary items.
conversation with them. And I said, hey, I texted you this picture. You guys have something marked in the water, like very close to where her car is. Can you give me an update about what happened? The story that he gave back to me was this, that Alameda County essentially allowed a team of volunteer divers to use their boat in this search. They were there and they had a chain of command, a group of people that they were reporting to and listening to. In particular, the chain of command gave them some very specific instructions while they were searching. His specific instructions were, number one, they were looking, don't know why, only for Kiely's cell phone. And then the second thing that he said is that they had pretty explicit instructions that they were only supposed to go 25 feet out from the water, and that's it. So initially what they did was they swam out 25 feet, dropped that anchor, which is that yellow dot there, and then they just searched 25 feet out, and that's it.
And shortly after 12:30 is when her phone just essentially either went dead or was turned off, and it has been off ever since. Her phone has actually been turned off shortly after 12:30 a.m. Saturday morning, and it has been off this whole time.
So at about 12:36 a.m. in the morning, I saw a call from her, and she called me. I was on my way home from the party.
I've heard this, and I heard it was called in, is that someone at a different party that was down the way saw lights go into the water, and they called 911, but it was not, but because no one had been missing, that it did not get reported. If they have the phone, and the FBI can get into it, I can get into it. I know hackers that can get into it. It called the hackers the night this all happened. Day 3, I almost broke into Mark Zuckerberg's house, almost took over his computer. It's about to drop. I'm going to send it out, and it's all going to be out, and especially after what I just read, I don't care. I don't care anymore. And it's done, and it's going to be proven now.
I'll just end with 12:33 a.m. was the last known time that we have for Kiely. Anything after that, we have not been able to find.
We have a point last seen and a point last known, and that's confirmed by digital evidence and individuals.
just us in this world. Nobody can change that. Hey, we gon' fuck up in